Hello, Commanders. Automatic Gamer here, and we're officially halfway through the NFL season, and a lot of factors, a lot of storylines, and a lot of avenues we don't know in the NFL still, even though it's halfway through the season. But anyway, even though we don't know all these factors, I'm going to hopefully attempt to solve all of them with predictions coming into week 9, and let's get into predictions, starting things off with Thursday Night Football. You got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Miami Dolphins. And for the Ravens ending the Bears winning streak, thank you, Ravens, for doing that. We much appreciate it. And of course, with them getting Lamar Jackson back, that is just a huge, huge boost to the offense, and especially with him being one of the best and one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, yeah, that's just great to have. And while he's going to be supporting a lot of guys out there on the offense like King Henry, Isaiah Flowers, Isaiah Likely. I mean, yeah, just a huge boost to the offense. Of course, he got a really good defense going for him as well. Got a pretty good secondary, and while going up against this Mike McDaniels-led Miami Dolphins team, Seat got a little bit cooler last week, which is good for the Miami Dolphins. And of course, Devin Achane, Jalen Waddle, and Tua had really good days last week going up against the Atlanta Falcons that was led by Kirk Cousins, of course. And of course, Tua, perfect throws, no interceptions, which is awesome for him to have. Even though he only had one eye, he was still able to win the game over 200 yards, so that was just amazing. And well, the Dolphins, yeah, they're trying to turn things around, but for this game, I'm going to unfortunately go with the Baltimore Ravens to get this win. And Dolphins, I think they're just still working on to figure things out in Miami. And next we have the... Oh gosh, why did I even look at that? That is going to be an ugly game. Oh god. You got the Chicago Bears taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Bears, you ended your win streak against the Ravens last week without Lamar Jackson. And Bengals, you lost to the Jets. Do I need to say anything more? One boost. I mean, this is being played in Cincinnati, so that might benefit the Jets from this game. Even though there's still no Joe Burrow to help him out. They're just waiting for him at this point, I think, to return from the injury. And of course, I think Joe Flacco got injured, so that's not great. So they're going to have to go with their third string quarterback. And I mean, yeah, you still got T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, which is really good on your offense, on your defense. Still can be good here and there on the offense and defense, like certain times. And going up against a Caleb Williams Bears team, Caleb Williams, I mean, for these past few games, he hasn't looked the greatest. His offense took a little bit of a slump. Same with his defense. They're dealing with a couple injuries here and there, and I mean, these factors, this is going to be a weird one to predict because I can honestly maybe see it being a very low-scoring game. But for this factor, because it's being played in Cincinnati, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals to get this win. And hopefully after this game, you can hopefully just build and Kitty goes meow for this game. Next, you have a NFC North showdown. You got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. Now, I'm going to talk about the Lions first, then I'll move on to the one team that we all came here for. So for the Detroit Lions, we got to stop them. They just gave their greatest pass rusher on their team, Aiden Hutchinson, a brand new 4-year contract, even though it's halfway through the NFL season for this year, another 4 years extension. And also, I know they got Jared Goff, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. They got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, And, of course, they got a really good, high-powered offense. The defense is really good as long as Aiden Hutchinson is on the field. Otherwise, it kind of crumbles at the seams. And while these factors, they do concern me a little bit, but also we're Vikings, we're Warriors, and also the Carson Wentz experiment, it's over. Thank goodness. He was being obliterated and being killed behind the offensive line against this Chargers Justin Herbert team on Thursday night for the defense. It was just a bad performance. He didn't look great, and that was the main factor why we lost last week. And while I'm looking forward to this game because of one big reason. JJ McCarthy will be back. He's back to 110% healthy, so he's going to be coming out swinging against this Lions team, and the Lions probably won't know how to handle this guy against this Vikings team and this offense. So I'm just looking forward to seeing JJ McCarthy for his third start. He's going to be great. Of course, we got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor on the offensive. Couple of weapons like those. Adam Thielen, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones will be back, which is great. Brian O'Neill, Ryan Kelly, Blake Cashman, Andrew Van Ginkel for the defense, so that's awesome. Will Fries is back, so that's awesome as well. We're getting all these guys back from injury, and we're just setting ourselves up to be hopefully be a good team this year. I'm not concerned about the playoffs yet, but honestly, I'm going to be concerned about them coming into pretty soon with these next few weeks coming into these next games. But I'm not worrying about that yet because I just want to be a good team in the NFL. And yeah, for all these reasons and all this excitement that's been going on for this NFC North battle, I'm going to go with the Vikings to get this win, and I'm just looking forward to a great football game and a great fight. Next, we have you got the Carolina Panthers going up against the Green Bay Packers, a potential trap game for one guy named Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Because, well, they just figured out the answer to 27 because the amount of points that they got 30 minus 8, 27, and then figured that out, then, well, the Packers' ego in their heads, it's getting a little bit too big, and for Green Bay, I would start to worry about that factor, but I'm not a Packer fan, so I'm not worrying about them because they'll just collapse anyway because their egos and heads are getting a little bit too big. So, yeah, after that win up against their former quarterback in Aaron Rodgers on the Pittsburgh Steelers that couldn't really get anything going in the first half and first quarters of the game, but Jordan Love, I mean, he still gets ripped apart by the media, like always, as he should, because he's still not that great of a quarterback. In the short game, he's okay. In the long passing game, I just hear he's usually awful. And, well, yeah, all these factors, and, of course, still dealing with injuries behind the offense. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers to get this win. Bryce Young will be back, so Packers fans, they might be shaking in their green and gold disgusting boots. So, Carolina, you get this win. Next, we got the LA Chargers taking on the Tennessee Titans. Now, Titans, just do one thing. Protect your quarterback, Cam Ward. Showing all this potential and behind a battered and terrible offensive line and a bad defense, you can't protect hopefully your franchise guy in Cam Ward that you just got. Yeah, so that's really bad. The offense is bad. The defense isn't great. The secondary is atrocious. The quarterback is amazing, shows all its potential. Able to win, I think, maybe one game, which isn't bad. It's pretty good. But going up against this Chargers team, Justin Herbert, Ladd McConkey, and everyone like that in the run game and all the wide receiver weapons that they have, even though they're dealing with a ton ton of injuries on the offense and some on the defense as well. I'm still going to go with the LA Chargers to get this win, and this might be a little bit too much for the Tennessee Titans to handle, especially for the offensive side of the ball. If the Titans do end up winning and causing an upset, I would be shocked that they ended up winning behind a terrible offense, but still a very, very promising quarterback. So for that, I'm going to give the LA Chargers this win. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New England Patriots. The Falcons. Kirk Cousins did not look great. He had a few turnovers in the game. Had just over 100 yards. That's not great. He did not look good in that game or in the pocket. The good news is Michael Penix is going to be coming back, which is going to be a really good boost to the offense. And especially with guys in the run game, especially with guys like Bijan Robinson and all that. And, of course, the other weapons that they have on the offense and their defense. And going up against a New England Patriots team with Drake May at quarterback. And I know we got sacked like 5 or 6 times last week by, who sacked? Let me think. By the Cleveland Browns defense, probably the best defense in the NFL. Still able to win, unfortunately. And Falcons, you got to stop this empire. You got to stop the Patriots. And, well, yeah, for this game, Michael Penix, unless he's at full power, which he most likely will be, this might be a wonky game to watch and listen to. But honestly, I'm going to go with the Falcons to get this win because Michael Penix is going to be coming back. And, of course, I know they got a few weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And, yeah, Patriots, just please don't become an umpire again because we've already had to deal with it for years. Your next match, we have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New York Giants. There's 3 teams in New York, but only the Bills. Now, for the 49ers, Mac Jones lights it up. They're dealing with a ton of injuries, still finding ways to win, which is great. Mac Jones been playing probably some of the best football. You still got guys like Christian McCaffrey out there. And, of course, I know you got guys like Robert Saleh, which he completely transformed the defense when he came back, so that's wonderful to have. Great defense, still good offense, even though you're dealing with a ton of injuries, which honestly just sucks. You just need to work on getting guys back and getting healthy, and then you can probably get back into the swing of things in the NFC West, because I know your big competition is going to be the Rams and the Seahawks. And going up against this New York Giants team, which could have had another win over the Eagles, but the Eagles got their revenge, and of course, why did they have to lose Cam Skattebo? October is just about here in like a couple days, and you had just tomorrow, and you got to lose Cam Skattebo, and honestly, that just kind of sucks to lose him, and well, yeah, for Giants, I just kind of feel bad. You're without him. You got no Malik Neighbors. You still got Jackson Dart, and he's doing very good on your offense. Got a pretty good defense going on, though, for the Giants, but for this game, I'm going to go with the 49ers, even though they're a beat-up team right now. I think they're still going to find some way to win with Mac Jones at quarterback because he's doing very, very well on the offense. So for this, I'm going to go with the 49ers to get this win, and Cam Skattebo, just get healthy, and also 49ers get healthy. Next we have, alright, let's see, this might be, who knows if this is going to be interesting. You got Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts facing off against Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Colts. Indiana Jones just keeps on going and keeps on winning. Unless someone has a giant boulder or a ton of traps that you can use against him, he's going to keep on going with his whip and his hat and keep on winning those games. And honestly, it's one of the best storylines to watch. For the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones, they're having great years, man. Like they're just amazing. Like a 7-1, I think, team right now in the and top the standings in the NFL. They're one of the best teams in football in the NFL, and how they're doing with that storyline. I still can't believe how the Colts have been doing, because we were like, oh, with their ceiling, with Daniel Jones, oh, they're not going to look good this year, and it's going to be the Texans again. And yeah, we were all proven wrong. And with the Colts going up against, let's see here, this Pittsburgh Steelers team with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Steelers, of course, lost last week to the Packers. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. You had one job. It's usually very easy to do, especially with Jordan Love at quarterback. Yeah, going up against this Colts team, they're gonna have a lot in their hands going up against Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor. So Aaron Rodgers probably gonna have his hands full, on especially with a really good Colts defense. And of course, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he knows how to get the ball out, especially when he's in the pocket and he's got no time. And of course, he's got pretty good offense going for him. I mean, I know their team is having a little bit of a slump going into a couple of those last weeks, but still be a big upset if they're able to beat the Colts and Indiana Jones. But honestly, because of everything that's been going on, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts to get this win. And Steelers, maybe go to Super Bowl, but with the Ravens coming back, you're probably not going to. So Colts get this win. Next, we got the Denver Broncos facing off against the Houston Texans. Broncos able to easily take care of business against the Dallas Cowboys. Offense was great. Their defense was awesome. Bo Nix played amazingly. Able to play for a full 4 quarters of football and shut down almost anything that the Cowboys were doing. Dak Prescott didn't look too great. The offense was moving, able to get after him. Their defense is horrible for the Cowboys. And yeah, Cowboys, yeah, I don't really know if I got any faith for the one team in Texas thing. Oh wait, that's the Texans. I forgot there's one team in Texas. Yeah. So, yeah, with the Broncos facing off against Texans, might be a defensive battle because, well, CJ Stroud had his best game last week. Has not looked the greatest this year. He's having a little bit of a slump, I think. His offense isn't great. His defense is. So this, even though he just had his best game, I think this might be a low-scoring, probably defensive battle. And for this reasoning, I mean, out of who has a better of a defense, I'm going to go with the I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos to get this win over the Houston Texans. This might be maybe a low-scoring defensive battle, but yeah, Denver Broncos get this win, and this may be an interesting game to watch. Who knows, though? Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. All right. Trevor Lawrence versus Geno Smith, as long as he doesn't throw an interception. Raiders, yeah, of course, I think not looking too great. Geno Smith doing some good, but also doing some bad. Not really doing like anything that's like crazy in Vegas for the Raiders. So they're just, I think, looking towards the future. And of course, the Vegas Raiders facing off against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Trevor Lawrence. I mean, if they can get Ashton Jeanty going, that'll be great for this Raiders team. I don't really think it's going to happen with how the Jacksonville Jaguars have been doing things with the offense and the defense, and how Trevor Lawrence has been playing really good, efficient football in the AFC South. So, yeah, this might be a one-sided battle, I think, and I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to get this win. And, yeah, Raiders just show some progress and maybe look towards the future from now on. Sorry to say that for any Raiders fans. But yeah, Jaguars, you get a win. Next, we have potentially another one-sided game. You got the New Orleans Saints facing off against the LA Rams. And of course, the Saints, they're moving on, and they're going to start Tyler Shook. And, well, this is probably going to be the start. Even though it's his first start, this may be a start of an interesting storyline for the New Orleans Saints with him coming in at quarterback. And, yeah, for the Rams, Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, he's returning, so that's going to be a huge boost on the offense. And, yeah, they're just all playing some really good football over there in LA for the Rams as one of the best teams in the NFL and one of the best teams in the NFC West. But, yeah, for this game, I mean, with all this firepower for the Rams, I'm going to pick them to get this win, even though the Saints, they're just seeing what Tyler Shook is made of, moving on from Spencer Rattler on quarterback position, on seeing him if he's going to do great and if he's the future, and what if they're going to build toward this guy in Tyler Shook. So for this, I'm going to go with the LA Rams to get this win, and Saints, I think they're just looking to show some progress from their first starting quarterback. Next we got the potentially game of the week, but that's not me. That's the Vikings-Lions. That's my game of the week. The game of the week, I'm going to guess for a lot of other people, is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs facing off against the Buffalo Bills. And the reason I say it's the game of the week, these guys always have a great battle against each other. You got Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, James Cook. I can just go on and on about this fight because this is going to be really entertaining. And I think, wait, where is it being played? Oh, it is being played in Buffalo, in New York, so that might give the Bills a little bit of an edge here. And I know Josh Allen, James Cook, the Bills, really good offense, pretty good. I mean, defense could be better, but it's still pretty decent. Secondary is still really solid, though, there. And I know the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, he's looking a little bit better. And, of course, I know could have lost to the Commanders in the first half especially, but they were able to battle back, get things going with guys like Isaiah Pacheco and everyone else like that. And, well, I mean, with Xavier Worthy and everyone else like that, I mean, this will be a really good test and a really good battle between each of these teams because every time they face each other, it's always a really fun match and bloodbath between these two teams because it always goes down to the wire or the last possession of the game of who gets the ball last usually determines everything. This may go into overtime. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. But for this game, because it's being played in New York, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to get this win. And I'm just looking forward to another great football game to watch. Next, for your Sunday night football game, you have the Seattle Seahawks facing off against the You got the Seattle Seahawks facing off against the Washington Commanders. Just speaking of the Commanders, they're just waiting to get Jane Daniels fully back on the offense. And I think they just lost again Scary Terry after he just returned, which honestly just sucks for the offense. And I know they're just still waiting to get Jane Daniels back. And I think I heard it was rumored that he was going to be returning, I think, coming into this game against the Seahawks coming into this week. So that might be a really good boost for the offense on the Commanders side of things. And still having a pretty good offense, even without Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. I mean, you still got weapons here and there, and of course, still got a pretty good secondary, pretty good defense, so that's really nice to have. And going up against a Seattle Seahawks-led Sam Darnold team, even though they're just throwing the ball to JSN, even though not going to Cooper Kupp or anyone else like that, it's working. I mean, it's working for Seattle Seahawks fans and the team. So if it ain't broken, I guess don't fix it and just throw the ball to JSN. And well, yeah, this may be an interesting game coming up on Sunday Night Football. I mean, since Jane Daniels will be playing, this might be a little bit of a closer battle to watch. And I mean, if somehow, some way, Scary Terry was back, it would make their offense a little bit better on the Commander side of things. But honestly, just for this game, on how the Seahawks have been doing, and with JSN and Cooper Kupp and everyone else on their team and squad, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to get this win. And Commanders, sorry about Scary Terry. He's probably one of the best players on the team. And finally, for Monday Night Football, we have the Arizona Cardinals facing off against Dallas Cowboys. So the Cardinals, of course, I don't know if they're certain if they want to have Kyler Murray in there or or their other quarterback. I can't remember his name right now. Someone tell me in the comments, please. I can't remember his name. Yeah. Who knows what they're gonna have in at center at QB, and going up against a pretty decent Dallas offense with Dak Prescott, and of course, very bad defense for the Cowboys. And the Cardinals usually always give the Cowboys issues, so this might be another trap game, given that the Cowboys didn't play their greatest football last week up against the Broncos, which was really fun to watch to see them lose. But yeah, for this game, even though it's being played in Dallas, since the Cardinals usually always give them issues, I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals to get this win. And Cowboys, there's only one team in Texas, and his name is the Houston Texans, or the Strouds. So, yeah, that wraps things up for Week 9 in the NFL season. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. And also, if you guys want to talk more football with me, just subscribe to my channel, join my Discord. The link will be in the description. And, yeah, this week might be another interesting week in the NFL season. And I will see you on the football field, Commanders.